Thank you so much for watching these videos, and we're going to be starting with the body now, body modeling. Alright, so first I create a tube and then I scale that tube to fit the shape of the body. Okay, so I do take the body to ZBrush and then start modifying the body so that I can create a perfect shape for the character to also things of the sort at the back, and then take it back to 3ds Max. Now when I take to 3ds Max, you can see I'm adding more polygons so that I can have more of the body resolution. So at the top I create an inset so that I can create the neck, and then I also try to create more with the side of the body. So I also create the inset for the body and the shoulder, that is for the hand and also for the leg. So just modifying and putting it right. Great. So at least I have the extrusion of the hand and the extrusion of the leg. So I take it back to ZBrush, then try to widen and create a perfect shoulder, then the perfect thigh. Okay, then go back to 3ds Max. So in this case I'm doing gauzy and back and forth to 3ds Max and ZBrush. So I'm creating the leg with the cylinder and then 8 sides of the cylinder. So I'm creating the part of the knee. Okay, I do take them to ZBrush. Then with the hand, you can see I'm also pointing it down, and it is supposed to get close to the thighs. That's why it's pointing down. Okay, getting close to the thigh, because when you stand, at least your fingertips are touching some bit of your thighs. So I do the modifications, and then I'm going to put my focus onto the fingers, and also making sure that the hands and the legs have enough resolution to allow folds. Then now I'm creating the shape. You can see that the hand, you can see that most of the shapes are coming from one cylinder, one sphere, and then I modify it. So that is now the fingers. So it's a cylinder, it's a cone, and then the cone has 8 sides, and then those 8 sides are modified. So 8 sides is my rate for any open space. So I'm creating the thumbnail. So any open space that is going to be attached, I consider 8 sides that will be attached together. Right. So when you have the right shape, the modification is always easy in ZBrush. So I take it to ZBrush, then to make sure that I modify the shapes very well and have at least a good finger. You also, when you go to ZBrush, you remember which axis you are mirroring to when you're creating these shapes. So you can mirror in the X, you can mirror in the Y. Okay, this process took about 2 hours. But we do not have those 2 hours for this project, at least. But you can get to see how I'm handling things. So you feel free to slow the video if you feel you need to, take note of something that I've done. So I was creating the thumb there. I had to chop off part of the fingers. Okay, then widen the thumb. Please do not forget to subscribe, share and like, as well become a Patreon, support these videos. If you want to become a sponsor, you can also contact us. There's no worries. Okay, so trying to modify the hand, that part of the palm. So I'm connecting different pieces to create a good shape. So I had to do a chamfer there so that I can separate the fingers, and then make sure that I have 4 sides to eliminate having too many parts to weld. Then I made an inset so that the fingers have that kind of part to separate them. And then inside I also need only 8 sides, so that's why I did that inset on the other side. Alright, so now it is easy for me to do a weld and then connect. So in these cases, once I have a good blockage of how the shape will look like, my most worries are not here, because I can go to ZBrush and modify the shape. Okay, and then I'm trying to eliminate having too many resolution parts. So what I do drive a loop that will be modified by me myself, and then later on it makes a connection that will loop around. So great, the hand is done. So it's easy now in ZBrush. All I have to do is use the move tool, use the soft tool, and then modify these parts. Make sure that I have the right finger, the right thumb, things of the sort. Great, so it's ZBrush and then back to 3ds Max, then ZBrush, then 3ds Max, things of the sort. So it becomes easy. It becomes easy to really create these items. And then do not forget that practice makes perfect. So if you really practice this, you're bound to get better results. So whenever I'm doing these joints, I do not worry so much about the shape, because I'll simply go back to ZBrush and try and modify the shape. Okay, you can see it is easy to join. So all I have to do is go to ZBrush, then do some move here, move there, and then scale up, you know. So you can see I go to ZBrush, then soften the parts, make sure I have the right fingers, you know, modify with the brush. So in ZBrush I use the move topological and the move. So move topological will move, in case you have very many sub-objects, it will move the sub-object independently, and then move will move everything. The soft brush also, all the brushes, at least I use a certain capacity. I don't just get the brush as is. Okay, so I take back to 3ds Max and I've modified the shape. Now it's time to join the hand with the palm down there. So it's now easy. So that is catering for the twist, you know, that twist that is in the hand, so that when I add the bones, it will be the twist will be taken care of. And then some more vertices there to work on the resolution. Okay, so we take back to ZBrush, and then we do the soften, okay, to soften out that part. So you see, it becomes easy. There is another character also that you'll be watching the animal. It's a pig. I'm going to make that pig talk, and also I'll post the videos of how that project was done, following almost the same process, as you'll see. Okay, so I try to point it down so that I'm making sure it's touching the thigh, because you can, if you do not have such a sort of small identical measurements, you're bound to have the hands very tall, things of the sort. So I'm also trying to modify the thigh here to give it some good shape, so that's not just some small skinny thing. So if you do not do such kind of measurements, logical measurements, you at the time you have the hand, and then remember we're modeling in a T pose, and then the hand will be almost touching the toes of the character, which may not be bad for a cartoon character, but you know, in most cases it makes it changes the story and the maneuvers that can be done by the character. So using the unit scale like we did in our first video, you know, it's very easy for you to modify certain parts. So I'm trying to create the shoulder by making sure that I close certain loops that shouldn't go beyond the shoulder. Okay, and then the armpits, so that caters for certain movements around the shoulder and the armpits, so that when the armpit is moving, okay, it doesn't affect the rest of the waistline, things of the sort. And so I'm creating certain folds, and also when the shoulder is moving, it doesn't affect the neck because the vertices will be stopping somewhere. All right, so I'm creating the feet. I'm trying to create some shoes. So you can see most of the things I'm trying to modify from a tube. Then I do some sort of a turbo smooth on the tube, and then I start modifying on the tube because it will give me a base soft oval shape, and most of the human body is kind of oval. So you see, even the shoe, I just go to ZBrush and try to modify it. All right, so I'm not so good at the feet but I'll try to make something clean. But you can, I think you get the overall idea of how things flow. Take it back to Z. Great, fix it in place. Now some of the things will depend on what you're going to use the character for. If the character is going to be showing the toes, then you may need to model the feet. But if there's no focus on the toes, you know, the thing is, what will your final viewer be seeing? Are the feet going to be so active that you put final details on it? Is the character going to be moving any toes? If they are going to be doing that, then even if this also affects the rigging. Okay, so I'm trying to create the feet alone because I need to also paint that part. I need like the character to have some kind of some sort of stockings. Great, you can see that in a little while we have a good character there. Okay, so the rest of the modification depends on you who is modeling the character. So here we're doing now major adjustments because we're done with the soft adjustments. Take it in mind that the whole process took 2 hours. So I'm cutting off certain parts there. I'm trying to create a shirt for him. So I've duplicated this and then I'm trying to create the shaft. Alright, so I'm not so good at creating clothes because I haven't done good practice on that. My computer is not that strong when it comes to things that need mass effects. But let's see what we can do. Okay, so I'm trying to give character clothes. Just a basic look before the final thing. Just the basics. All right, so I'm putting a push modifier there so that I can have the character putting on clothes with the push modifier so that the clothes do not be on the body. All right, I would like to thank you so much for watching this video and following up on this character. In the next video, we're going to be creating other items that may be needed by the character. Please follow along. But you can see that I've been able to, okay, this process took hours, but you can see that I've been able to create different shapes just from the box, you know, and then putting a turbo smooth and then modifying with ZBrush to get a general look. Great, let's meet in the next video.